Dear first year students, welcome to you all. I also welcome you to the teaching and learning process. Myself Belke Padi, Department of English. Today, I have decided to make focus on the parts of speech of the sentences. The parts of speech is very important, and you are to know all these things. Before or after writing the sentences. From the very beginning, I want to say that the parts of speech are 8 in numbers. Dear students, the parts of speech are 8 in numbers: noun, pronoun, verb, adverb, adjective, preposition, conjunction, interjection, and these are the 8 parts of speech. Sometimes you come across in different sentences. By that time, you fail to understand, you fail to point out, you fail to find out the actual parts of speech for the sentence or the sentences carry. Dear students, I have told you that the parts of speech are 8 in numbers: noun, pronoun, verb, adverb, adjective, preposition, conjunction, interjection. Normally, the grammarians have already given their viewpoints that there are only 7 parts of speech. Interjection is neglected. Interjection. But others, the grammarians, they have focused their attention to the interjection, which is not a part and parcel of the sentence itself. It is not a part of the sentence, rather it is added. I will tell you, I will also discuss all these things just before you. Today, the discussion will be made on the different parts of speech the sentences carry. Number 1 is noun. A noun is a word. A noun is a word used in the name of a person. A noun is a word used as the name of the person, the name of the place or thing. The name of the person, the name of the place, the name of the thing. That gives names. The noun gives names to a particular thing. It gives a name. A thing, place, person, animal, quality, action, all these things are named by the noun forms. So noun is a very essential part of the sentence. Many kinds of nouns are there. I will discuss one by one. But today, the discussion is made on 8 categories of parts of speech, 8 parts of speech. Sometimes this long sentence carries. I will also give you the example. You will find so many examples. I will give example to each and every category. So what is a noun? A noun is a word used as the name of a person. A noun is a word used as the name of the person, place or thing. That gives names to a thing, the place, person, animal, quality, action, etc. I will give you one example. The example is, people respect him for honesty, for his honesty, you mark. People respect him for his honesty, write down. People respect him for his honesty, Honesty. You mark. People respect him for his honesty. I am giving you the example of the noun form. People respect him for his honesty. People is the noun and honesty is also the noun. 2 nouns are there in the sentence. I will also give you the categories later on. But today, you should know what is the noun form. People. People is the noun, the common noun. People is the common noun. And also, the honesty is the abstract noun. Categories of nouns. The forms of nouns. So, the example is, you see, people respect him for his honesty. So, people is a noun form. Honesty is also a noun form. People is a common noun. And honesty is an abstract noun. So, different noun forms are there. They are to be discussed in the course of time. But today, you have to take the categories or you have to take the parts of speech. Write down. Number 1 is about the noun form. I will give you the second example. Columbus discovered America. You mark. Columbus discovered America. Columbus discovered America. You mark. Here in the sentence, there are also 2 noun forms. Columbus is a noun form and America is also another noun form. So, Columbus is a proper noun, you mark. The name of the person, it is a proper noun. And America is also a noun. What type of a noun that is? America is also a proper noun named after a place. It is the name of a place. So, here 2 nouns are there. Columbus is a proper noun, the name of the person. America is also a proper noun, the name of the place. So, this is about the examples I gave you under the heading of noun form. So, noun form is a part and parcel. It is very essential, very integral, very indispensable so far as the sentence is concerned. Just verb will follow the noun. Verb will follow the noun form. when I will discuss the subject and the predicate, the main clause and the subordinate clauses, I will tell you everything. In the course of time, these things are to be focused, or these things are to be kept in view, and I will also tell you. But today, the discussion will be made on the 8 categories or 8 parts of speech. So, Columbus discovered America. Discovered is a verb, no doubt. Columbus discovered America. Columbus is a proper noun, the name of the person, and America is also a proper noun, the name of a place. So, that is 2 proper nouns are there. But in the first sentence, which I had already given you earlier, the first sentence carried, people respect him for his honesty. People is a common noun, honesty is the abstract noun. But here, America is a proper noun, name of the place, and Columbus is also a proper noun, name of the person. You mark. But you now go to the pronoun. What is a pronoun? The words that stand for nouns or are used instead of nouns are known as pronouns. The words used in place of nouns or the words used in place of nouns, in the absence of nouns, are called pronouns. And they are also the substitutes of the noun form. The words that stand for, mark, the words that stand for nouns or are used instead of nouns are known as pronouns. They are called antecedents. The pronouns are called antecedents. Sometimes the nouns are also. In the grammar book, Aranapuna grammar book, Wren and Martin grammar book, Wren and Martin, written by Wren and Martin, you will see the noun form is also an antecedent. The pronouns are also antecedent. When a pronoun is used in place of a noun. When a noun is absent, the pronoun will do. Instead of a noun, pronoun will do. And that is why, dear students, you are to find out what is the noun and what is the pronoun form. You are to find out. I will give you the example of the pronoun. These are his pictures. I am writing the sentence. These are his pictures. You mark. These are THESE. These are his HIS pictures. PICTURES. These are his pictures. You mark this. Two pronouns are there. These is a pronoun and his is also a pronoun. These is a pronoun which is there in place of the noun form when the noun is absent, and his is also a pronoun form. You mark. Dear students, pronouns have different categories. Pronouns have different categories. Many kinds of pronouns are there. And when categorically I will focus on all these things, I will tell you bit by bit, one by one, and there will be no doubt at all. You will never have any doubt. I will clear your doubt, what I think. So here, two pronouns are there. One is this, and the second one is his. Two pronouns are there. So in a sentence, there is a noun, there is a pronoun. Without the verb, sentence cannot be made. Maybe it is auxiliary, which will function just like a full verb. And a full verb, main verb is there. You may use adverb or may not. You may use adjective or may not. You may make the sentence lengthy or may not. You may use interjection or may not. You may use preposition or may not. You may not. But a sentence requires a verb form. Maybe it is an auxiliary, or it is a main verb, a full verb. A verb form is required. A noun and a verb, a pronoun and a verb. So that will also make a sentence. Leave the imperative sentence. Only the verb will do. Only the verb will do. Where na? ପଢ଼ଉଛି You mark students, when you write the sentence, you may use adjective, adverb, or you may not use. But a noun form is required or a pronoun is required. A verb is required. A class hochi class. A verb is required. So that is why if you say in imperative sentence only a verb can do. A verb with a preposition also can do. But they are the subject you is omitted. The subject you is omitted. But without the subject or without the noun or pronoun, a sentence cannot be made. So that is why a pronoun is also required, which also does much more in the absence of the noun form. So I have given you the example, but you come to the adjective form. What is adjective form? An adjective is a word which modifies noun or pronoun. What is the role of the adjective, or what is the function of the adjective? Adjective in a sentence will modify the noun or a pronoun, will qualify the noun or a pronoun. That is the function, or that is the major role of an adjective. It adds something to the meaning of a noun. It adds something to the meaning of a noun. You mark. The adjective gives something, adds something towards the meaning of the noun. That is the rule of That is the function of the adjective form. I will give you the example. The example is, he is a brave boy. You mark. He is a brave boy. Brave here in the sentence is an adjective form. If I say, the boy is marked by bravery. The boy is marked by bravery. B-R-A-V-E-R-Y. That bravery is a noun form. Bravery is a noun form, but brave is an adjective form. He is a brave boy. Brave is here adjective, bravery is noun. So dear students, this is about the adjective form which qualifies the noun, pronoun, modifies the noun and pronoun. It adds. What does it add? It adds something to the meaning of the noun or pronoun. It adds something to the meaning of a noun and a pronoun. So that is the major function of the adjective form. You come to verb. Verb is a very essential part of a sentence. Verb is a very essential part of a sentence. The verb in a sentence is the word that says something about something else. In the same sentence, that says something, that tells something about something else. In the same sentence, it expresses an action or state, S-T-A-T. The verb expresses an action or state, S-T-A-T-E. You mark what is the role of the verb or what is the function of the verb. Verb is a very essential part. So a verb, one of the parts of speech, the verb plays a very vital role in the sentence. The verb tells something about something else. The verb says something about something else in the same sentence. It expresses an action or state. An action, S-E-T-I-O-N, an action or state, S-T-A-T. The verb expresses an action. What is the noun doing? What is the pronoun doing? What is the subject doing? So verb states all these things, which is in the predicate part. The verb is there in the predicate part. And that will say about the noun, about the pronoun, about the subject, and it states something, it focuses on the action. You mark. So it is a word, verb is a word that says something about something else in the same sentence, and it expresses an action or state. I will give you one example. The girl wrote a letter to her cousin. Write out the sentence. The girl wrote a letter. The girl wrote a letter, L-E-T-T-E-R, to her cousin. The girl wrote a letter to her cousin. You see, root is the verb form here, root, the past form of write. The girl, noun form. The girl wrote a letter to her cousin. Here root, you mark, is in verb form. It is a verb form, root. the base verb is right. It is the base verb or present participle. The base verb is otherwise known as present participle. There is a past participle. Write, wrote, written. Fly, flew, flown. Flee, fled, fled. So, write is the base form. It is the present participle. You mark. And its past form is wrote. W-R-O-T-E. Its past form is wrote. Sometimes the present participle also takes ing form, which is nothing but a gerund. It also takes an ing form. It is also a gerund. It is the base form, ing. Blushing is a sign of modesty. Walking early in the morning is a good exercise. Sleeping in the daytime is a bad habit. Seeing is believing. So sometimes the present participle takes the ing form. We cannot say no. Base verb. Dear students, the girl wrote a letter to her cousin. Wrote is the past form of write. And wrote here is the verb form. And without the verb form, the sentence is incomplete. Without the verb form, main verb or auxiliary verb. Sometimes auxiliary verb functions like a full verb. Auxiliary verb functions like a full verb. Otherwise, this auxiliary can never give you a complete sentence. Never give you a complete sentence. The auxiliary functions like a main verb. So here, the full verb is there, the main verb is there, that is root, which has already come from write. Its past participle is written, write, wrote, written, flee, fled, fled, fly, flew, flown, forms three forms, and this is a verb form. I told you. I am telling you the adverb. I want to tell you the adverb, one of the parts of speech. An adverb is a word that modifies a verb. An adverb is a word that modifies a verb, an adjective, and even another adverb. The adverb modifies a verb, an adjective, and sometimes the adverb itself. The adverb can modify another adverb. It shows how, when, where, or why an action was done, an action was taken. You mark. It shows how, when, where. How, when, where, or why. Why, when, where, or why an action was taken, action was done. The work was done. Adverb. I will give you one example. I am almost ready. The sentence is, I am almost ready. You write down, I am almost ready. R-E-A-D-Y. I am almost ready. Almost is an adverb. Almost is an adverb. And ready is an adjective form. No doubt. Ready is an adjective form and almost is an adverb. So, it modifies the adjective form. He goes slowly. In which way he is going? He goes slowly. Slowly is the adverb. It modifies the verb. But here, it modifies the adjective. An adverb form, an adverb modifies. An adverb modifies the verb, adjective, and another adverb. So, I will tell you one by one. I will tell you, I will never neglect. I will never sleep. But I will tell you in the course of time. So many things are there. So, this is the example I gave you. You come to category number 7. That is conjunction. A conjunction is a word used to join words or sentences. What is the rule of the conjunction? Conjunction, write down. You are also making mistakes. While you write the term, write the word conjunction. conjunction. Not a conjunction, but a conjunction. 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 So its main purpose is to join two words or sentences. That is the rule of the conjunction. Coordinating conjunctions are there. Coordinating conjunctions. So they will join the words or the sentences. All conjunctions are connectors or joiners. You mark. All conjunctions are joiners or connectors. CUNNECTORS. I will give you one example. The brother and the sister. The brother and the sister are ill. Here and is the conjunction. And or but as if many things are there. Many conjunctions are there. I am giving only one example. The brother and the sister. And is the conjunction here. We are ill. This is about the conjunction. And I will tell you the last category. That is interjection. So some of the grammarians have already said that interjection is not a part of speech. But others say. What is interjection? An interjection is a word which expresses some sudden feelings. Alas, oh, ah, Mabrun. So this is about the interjection. Interjections have no grammatical connection with any word in the sentences in which they are used. It has no grammatical connection. So interjection is away from the sentence. It is a tag, T-A-G. It is an addition. So interjection cannot be a part and a parcel of the parts of speech. Again, strictly speaking, interjections are not parts of speech. Some say, not all. Some of the grammarians have already given their viewpoints that interjections are not at all the part. The interjections are not at all the parts of speech. Interjection is not a part of speech. It is away from the sentence, and it expresses our sudden feeling. It expresses our sudden feeling. I am giving you one example. Alas, the poor man met with an accident. Alas. Alas. A-L-A-S. Alas. Exclamatory mark. Alas, the poor man. The poor man met with an accident. accident. So alas is an introduction. Alas is an interjection, and it gives this sudden feeling, the feeling of a sorrow. Sometimes the feeling of happiness. Other interjections are there. Mabrun. is due to the sad feeling, weariness, and it refers to, the interjection refers to, will give rise to the sudden feeling. Some say it is not at all the part of speech. Some say when they have discarded interjection from the sentence, and others are of the opinion that it is part and parcel of the parts of speech. So it is also a part of speech. Some of the grammarians have already given their viewpoints or given their feelings. They have advocated their feelings, thoughts on 7 categories. They have given you the 7 categories or 7 parts of speech. Another one is neglected. But I here want to say, interjection can never be discarded. That cannot be ignored. Sometimes it comes to the sentence because it expresses our feelings. It expresses the feeling of the noun, the feeling of the pronoun, though it is away from the sentence. Alas, mabrun, ah, oh. So these are all introductions. Dear students, today this much I will teach you the types of sentences. I will teach you the types of sentences in the next class. I have told you the kinds of sentences earlier. I have told you the kinds of sentences earlier. But I will focus on the types of sentences, the transformation of sentences, and many of the things in the next class. Today, this much. Thank you all. Thank you all. Sare, टिके बंद करिया ना बंद नुहे मोर सेकेंड इयर आरंभ हो हाँ पूरा खाली अल्प समय 15-20 मिनट 2टा क्लास पर आज अच्छी